Impact segment tonight, why is Michelle Bachmann failing to catch on? Is it a gender issue? Join us from Los Angeles, Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall, and from Fort Worth, Texas, Janine Turner, radio talk show host on KLIF in Dallas. So why do you think Michelle Bachmann has lost so much support in Iowa, Janine?
Well, I think that Rick Perry came along and took a lot of wind out of her sails. I also think she's focused a lot of time on the fact that Obama is a socialist, which is true, but now it's time to focus on her agenda in a clear, concise, and catchy way. What are her views? What is her
Well, I
focus?
think she's made her views pretty clear. I mean, she's very conservative.
But not necessarily in a catchy way. I mean, Herman Cain did 999.
Yeah,
you walk away and you really
right.
remember.
There's no slogan, but it's, you know, we only have less than 4 weeks to the vote. I don't know whether a catchy slogan.
But as she says, 30 minutes is an eternity of politics. But also, I think that she's been attacking her fellow Republicans negatively. She said, you know, Herman Cain's 999 is really 666, and Perry's compassionate on immigration, and Newt isn't really pro-life. And I believe what America is looking for is a government that works. And what I think that she needs to do now is show that she can remain true to her conservative principles, but that she can lead the country as a whole. This is very, very important to America. And she's got the talent to do it, and the intelligence, and you know, she's a tax attorney. She has the strength, but we need to see that she can be a stateswoman.
All right, what do you think, Leslie? Why is her numbers cratered in Iowa?
Well, I think that Michelle Bachmann is clearly liked by a lot of Republicans, but likability is not electability. In October, when she unveiled her 11-point jobs plan, she didn't say how many jobs would be created, and there were no new ideas. Tonight, Bill, I think it was refreshing to hear her be more specific as to what being a true conservative does mean and how that differs from the other candidates on the stage. I think that she needs to do more of that, and there's not a lot of time to do it. I also think that she's missed an opportunity to really reach out to the evangelical portion of the GOP population, because the evangelicals know that they have to put their support behind one candidate or they're going to split the vote. And she is definitely more favorable in their eyes as an evangelical Christian.
Well, how should she do that, Leslie? What is she supposed to do? Have religious revival meetings along with the politics? I mean, how do you reach out? She's about as conservative as you could get for the evangelicals. I mean, she's had a lot of kids, a lot of foster kids, been married for a long time. I mean, what else does she have to do, Leslie?
But she has to play that, Bill. Well, she has to remind them that she's not a Mormon, she's not a born-again Catholic. She has no divorces under her belt.
Wherever she goes, and then, you know, the 25 foster kids, here they come. I don't know. All right, what about the gender issue?
She has to point out how she's different.
All right, what about the gender issue? You got 8 sweaty guys and Congresswoman Bachmann standing on a debate stage. It's got to be a little bit intimidating. Do you think there's any gender thing in here, Janine?
Well, I think there is. Well, I think America's ready for a woman president, and I think conservatives are certainly ready. But Democrats don't want it at all because it will affect the gender gap. Democrats really depend on women, the women vote. So they don't want to see a conservative woman out there at all. And I believe a conservative woman is at a disadvantage because the press is obviously focused.
Yeah, but that's true. Sarah Palin proved that.
Media.
But as far as Michelle Bachmann's campaigning, Leslie, is it a disadvantage for her to be a woman?
I think it's a disadvantage to be a woman in politics because whether left or right, it is a good old boy club, and that it's unfair, but the women have to work harder. And tonight, Bill, you talked about, and I think it's very touching, that she didn't get asked to the prom. But again, guys don't talk about that. Voters don't necessarily want to hear about that because that's not going to make them vote for Michelle Obama.
No,
she also says that she's a woman, she's a multitasker, she's emphasizing
I think it humanizes a politician, gets past the soundbite deal. Now, I
think it's great to see a woman out there amongst all those men. She's a little dynamo. I think it's really refreshing.
Absolutely, she brings a lot of energy to it. I think she gets in trouble a little bit with the forced deportation business, you know, because of the children aspect, and you know, you can imagine just a worldwide scene of people being dragged onto the bus or the plane and the little kids going, "Daddy, Mommy." I mean, you got to be realistic about this. So anyway, I'm going to give you the last word. Leslie, God help me, but I'll give you the last word. I don't think she's going to win in Iowa, but more power to her for trying, right?
I think she is trying, and I think the prom date, unfortunately, is going to kind of be how not only Iowa but the primaries and then the election will be. I don't think she will win, but I think she can try for second or third. You have
if she goes second or third,
60% of the vote willing to change
she can
their mind.
continue.
11% undecided.
Yeah, if she finishes in the top 3, she can continue. If she doesn't, she can't. Plenty more as a factor moves along this evening.